In the underground world of organized crime, where power is built through sophisticated strategies and secret connections, can the traditional hierarchical system remain resilient when faced with the explosion of digital technology and the breakthrough, retreat, tactics of the new generation? Today, we will delve into the intense confrontation between the Sinaloa cartel and the Jalisco New Generation cartel, two underground empires with opposing modes of operation but both depicting a distinctive identity of power. Sinaloa, with its long history, was built through a tightly structured hierarchical system, where every move is meticulously calculated from the top bosses down to each frontline fighter, creating a solid defensive network that security forces cannot easily penetrate. In contrast, CJNG is like a fresh breeze, with a decentralized organization, the ability to swiftly change tactics, and making full use of modern technology to respond to every fluctuation in its operating environment. Through statistics, pursuit campaigns, and dramatic clashes, the story of these two underground empires opens up many multidimensional perspectives on financial strategy, leadership style, communication, and even their ability to adapt in the digital age. Will the stability of tradition overcome the power of flexibility? Or conversely, is the speed of change and creativity of the new generation the key to navigating this ever-changing world? Let us debate and explore together. For every perspective opens up a story, a profound lesson about the art of survival and power in a scheming underworld. Beginning in the 1980s, the Sinaloa cartel built a traditional organizational system based on a hierarchical model, where the bosses operate remotely through each layer of specialized responsibilities. Each level has its own role, creating a tight defensive network that helps protect the organization from external impacts. For example, the arrests in the early 2000s showed that law enforcement only needed to target the intermediary bottlenecks to destabilize the entire system. This stability has helped Sinaloa control a global trafficking network, from domestic routes within Mexico to key transshipment points along the U.S. border and international markets. Investigative agency reports indicate that, year after year, the number of arrests of key individuals has remained stable, demonstrating the ability to maintain internal order within the traditional hierarchical system. Meanwhile, after 2010, the Jalisco New Generation cartel, CJNG, emerged like a fresh breeze, with a decentralized organizational model, allowing them to quickly adapt to any incident. CJNG divides the organization into small, independent groups that can change tactics and routes within just a few hours when facing pressure from law enforcement or rival competitors. The pursuit campaigns of 2018, when special units were not quick enough to catch their unusual signs, demonstrated CJNG's nimble, strike, retreat, speed. This flexibility has raised the question, does the continuous change and breakthrough ability of CJNG surpass the enduring strength of a long-established hierarchical system like Sinaloa's? Alongside the organizational structure, the scale of operations of the two underground empires also reveals prominent contrasting points. Sinaloa, with its long history and experience, controls an extensive trafficking network, marked by continuous transportation routes from northern to southern Mexico, from traditional trading points to important transshipment centers. Meanwhile, CJNG, although newly emerged, has quickly infiltrated new markets thanks to the application of digital technology and modern communication tactics. They exploit social media platforms and encrypted communication channels to rapidly disseminate information about sudden attacks, causing public opinion and law enforcement to continuously debate and raise pressing questions. The contrast between these two organizational models is not limited to structure but also opens up a rich comparative picture of power maintenance strategies. While Sinaloa relies on the stability and careful control of its hierarchical system to create lasting strength, CJNG fully exploits its rapid adaptability and flexible tactical shifts to confront every challenge. The numbers and data from investigative reports indicate that, although the number of arrests for Sinaloa has remained stable, CJNG has recorded a faster pace of tactical changes and higher positions, creating a picture of power full of contradictions and controversies. Thus, The story of these two underground empires is not merely a series of events and dry statistics but also an invitation for listeners to debate. Is there an ideal organizational model that combines the stability of tradition with the flexibility of modernity? Each perspective opens up a new chapter of dialogue, helping us to better understand the art of survival and power in this scheming underworld. Having spent many decades operating in a scheming and turbulent underworld, the Sinaloa cartel has depicted a traditional organizational model, where each boss stands at the pinnacle of a strictly hierarchical system. They built an operational network from production, transportation to drug distribution, arranged according to clear levels. From brilliant strategists to dedicated frontline warriors, each connection is meticulously calculated, creating a solid internal layer of protection, causing law enforcement to be able to destabilize the entire system by merely targeting the intermediary bottlenecks. The large-scale arrests in the early 2000s testified to the strength of this model, as Sinaloa's strategists consistently maintained order and stability over time. In contrast, after 2010, the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, CJNG, emerged as a new phenomenon, bringing with it a flexible, decentralized organizational model and the ability to quickly adapt to any incident. They divided the organization into many independent groups, capable of changing tactics immediately when faced with pressure from the authorities and rival competitors. CJNG's breakthrough ability is demonstrated through unexpected pursuit campaigns, when their formations move as fast as the wind, adjusting routes and plans in just a few hours. The contrast between the two models has raised major questions. Can the traditional hierarchical system maintain its durability in the digital age? Or is flexibility the key to victory? Investigative reports indicate that, while Sinaloa remains stable with around 10 to 15 major arrests each year, CJNG has recorded a significantly higher rate of change in positions and tactics, creating a rich and contentious comparative picture. On the operational map, Sinaloa is marked by arrows linking from the north to the south, from the U.S. border to the depths of Mexico, representing a tightly operating network like a classical symphony, while CJNG is like waves of electromagnetic energy, appearing suddenly, spreading quickly and unpredictably. It is precisely this difference that has sparked a storm of debate, inviting listeners to pose the question: is there an ideal organizational model that combines the stability of tradition with the flexibility of modernity, sufficient to overcome all challenges in an ever-changing world? Every detail, from secret transactions to fierce clashes, opens up multi-dimensional perspectives on strategy and power. Behind-the-scenes stories about the management of cash flow, sophisticated money laundering methods, and tactics for maintaining relationships with political forces further clarify that, whether Sinaloa or CJNG, each empire has its own lessons to cope with the relentless pressure from law enforcement and societal changes. Thus, the story of these two underground empires is not only a series of events but also a vivid testament to the capacity for adaptation, creativity, and survival strategies in an environment full of uncertainty, opening up a space for lively debate, where every opinion contributes to the completion of a multidimensional picture of underground power in the modern world. Next, as we step into the core of financial strategy and leadership style, the story of the differences between the Sinaloa cartel and the Jalisco New Generation cartel becomes even more vivid and captivating. While Sinaloa prides itself on a sophisticated financial system, built over decades with close connections between management departments and supporting business units, CJNG has quickly risen with a flexible, breakthrough financial model, always knowing how to take advantage of unexpected opportunities from the market. Sinaloa's financial transactions are usually organized through anonymous channels, using strict control systems and complex layers of security, creating a solid economic network, where every coin is reinvested carefully to ensure long-term stability. In contrast, CJNG applies modern technology in cash flow management, using digital applications to track and optimize investments instantly, helping them turn every fluctuation into a strategic advantage. This contrast not only stimulates curiosity but also opens up pressing questions for the audience. Is the safety and stability of the traditional system truly superior to the ability to innovate and quickly adapt of modern technology? Alongside financial strategy, the leadership styles of each empire also bring unmistakable distinctive features. The leadership of Sinaloa is often described as strategic masters with far-sighted vision, where each decision is carefully considered to ensure that every aspect of operations is strictly controlled. They prioritize maintaining sustainable relationships with political and economic partners, creating a network of relationships with enduring strength over time. In contrast, the leadership of CJNG is youthful, dynamic, and willing to take risks to achieve immediate goals. Their leadership style, though sometimes lacking traditional stability, demonstrates the ability to quickly adapt in emergency situations, helping the group gain the upper hand in crucial moments. The contrast between these leadership approaches further highlights the conflict in internal management and crisis handling, opening up a space for lively debate on whether long-term stability or quick adaptability is the decisive factor in an ever-changing environment. Not stopping there, the money laundering and cash flow management strategies of the two empires are also designed with distinctive characteristics. Sinaloa primarily relies on traditional methods such as investing in legitimate businesses, thereby concealing the origin of illegal funds, while CJNG leverages digital technology and high-speed transaction methods for money laundering, allowing for flexible cash flow conversion and avoiding detection. This approach not only reflects the management philosophy of each group but also opens up opportunities for debate on how to optimize the combination of stability and flexibility in the operations of criminal organizations. The story of the two underground empires is not limited to comparing figures or tactics, but is also a vivid testament to the ability of individuals to transform when facing severe challenges in an ever-changing world. In doing so, the audience will feel the power of diverse organizational models and be encouraged to reflect on how financial management and leadership strategies can simultaneously maintain safety and create leverage for innovation in the volatile environment of the modern underworld. Next, as we step into the core of communication strategy and the ability to adapt to the modern environment, we realize that, in the context of exploding digital technology and public opinion that changes every second, the Sinaloa cartel and the Jalisco New Generation cartel have defined their images through iconic communication campaigns, creating psychological shocks not only for their opponents but also for the government system and the community. Sinaloa, with its long tradition, has chosen the path of building a stable image by using close relationships with media outlets to maintain its credibility and the safety of its operations. They take advantage of strictly controlled press publications, indirect messages through traditional channels, and discreet press conferences to create a solid wall surrounding the image of an old yet highly experienced empire, thereby affirming a power honed over decades. In contrast, CJNG quickly recognized the power of digital media and applied a comprehensive digitalization strategy, using social networks, encrypted messaging applications, and live video to convey messages at breakneck speed. Short videos and vivid images of sudden attacks released on online platforms have created a strong viral effect, causing public opinion to continuously discuss and raise questions about the ability of security forces to maintain control. The stark contrast between these two communication strategies opens up a lively dialogue. Does the stable image of a traditional system truly help sustain long-term power? Or is the dynamism and agility in adopting digital technology the decisive factor in today's era? Data from investigative reports show that, in addition to maintaining a stable number of arrests, Sinaloa always focuses on sustaining long-term relationships with economic and political partners, while CJNG records a significantly higher rate of tactical changes, with faster movement and team adjustments, thereby creating a fiercely competitive yet contradictory picture. At the same time, modern pursuit campaigns with cross-border coordination and the continuous application of advanced surveillance technology constantly pose significant challenges, forcing both empires to face increasing pressure from national and international security forces. In this context, each message, each communication strategy is not only a tool to protect covert operations but also a vivid testament to the adaptability and creativity of criminal organizations in the digital age. This opens up a space for lively debate, as listeners wonder, Is there an ideal organizational model that can combine the stability of tradition with the flexibility of modern technology? Capable of overcoming all challenges in an ever-changing world? Every move, every tactic of Sinaloa and CJNG clearly portrays the contrast in strategies, from controlling the flow of information to the methods of coping with pressure from the authorities, creating a multi-dimensional and vivid picture that opens up fresh perspectives on underground power and their ability to transform in today's era. Continuing the journey of exploring the depths of comprehensive strategies in the underworld, we gradually realize that change comes not only from the methods of organization or financial management but also from the ability to combine tradition and innovation in each specific tactic. In the context of globalization and the explosion of digital technology, the Sinaloa cartel and the Jalisco New Generation cartel have implemented new approaches to maintain their power positions in a flexible and sustainable manner. Sinaloa, with its long-standing tradition and an operational network reinforced over decades, continues to rely on a tightly structured hierarchical system along with strictly secured internal communication channels. Each department has specific duties and responsibilities, from the production and transportation stages to distribution, creating a stability that any opposing force would find difficult to shake. The pursuit campaigns by security forces, evidenced by the arrests of bottlenecks at the intermediate level, show that even the strongest system can be damaged when its weak links are broken. In contrast, CJNG pursues a decentralized organizational model, where each operating group is granted autonomy and is ready to change tactics according to each specific situation. This allows them to respond quickly to any incident, from sudden attacks to changes in transportation routes, creating a nimble, strike, retreat strategy that opponents find hard to predict. Reports from national security agencies have repeatedly noted the rapid positional changes and tactical flexibility of CJNG. Raising a pressing question for listeners: does this flexible model have the durability to withstand pressure from international cooperation and increasingly strict government surveillance? At the same time, the impact of these strategies on society is an issue that cannot be overlooked. When territories are swept into the power struggle between the two underworld empires, the economic, psychological, and social consequences continuously spread. Areas once considered safe zones have now become unstable, as each confrontation is not only a tactical contest for power but also a tragedy for the people living in environments dominated by clandestine relationships. From the sophisticated management of cash flow, money laundering strategies that utilize digital technology, to modern communication campaigns, every aspect opens up multi-dimensional perspectives on power, survival, and the adaptability of criminal organizations. Thus, the story of Sinaloa and CJNG is not merely a series of numbers or dry investigative reports but also a vivid portrayal of transformation, challenging all the limits of tradition and opening new horizons for the future of modern underworld empires. Every decision, every tactic applied, is a strategic move that contributes to reshaping the flow of power in an ever-changing world, opening up a vibrant space for debate for those who wish to delve deeper into the art of survival and innovation in this scheming underworld. If you find the analysis of the confrontation between tradition and modernity, between the stability and flexibility of the Sinaloa cartel and CJNG truly fascinating and thought-provoking, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel so you won't miss the profound dialogues and fresh perspectives on the modern underworld. Thank you for accompanying us. See you again on our next exploratory journeys.